You. Happy 420. Hope everyone gets nice and toasty today. I have this weird thing going on in my throat right now, but that sounds really homosexual. No homo. Did you know I hate that the NBA fines people for saying no homo.
I feel you. I
Let me
think
see.
you're.
Is this the new kitchen?
This is the new kitchen. Yeah.
Let's get a little tour. Let's get a house tour real quick, or an apartment tour.
Well, I can't really do that.
Just rotate your laptop.
Well, it's my laptop. This is my kitchen. This will be a tiny area.
Oh, this place is pretty fucking big. That's a nice place.
It is. It is. Also, I think your mic might be wrong. What's up, Nandi? What's up, Chris? Man, I love you guys pulling up to every show, man.
You got it. You're right. Good. Yeah, you're right. Hey, wrong mic. All right. Happy 420, ladies and gentlemen. I had the wrong mic for the first minute and 30 seconds. Let me wipe the crust out my eye. Dude, I'm sorry. I had Chipotle last night, and God, Chipotle came back to fucking wreck me this morning. Like, I took one sip of coffee, and I felt my whole stomach just shift, and I was like, "Oh fuck," you know what I mean? Like I started basically running.
Yeah, man, Chipotle sounds good.
It was good. It was good last night. Also, my car's kind of having troubles, and I'm just not stoked about it.
Felt that one, yeah.
Yeah, and I work today and tomorrow, and the big thing is it's 40 minutes away each way, and I'm just yeah, and I'm just to myself, I was like, car, we can go to the shop on Saturday. We just
gave it a little pep talk.
Yeah,
2 more days, baby.
2 more days, and on Saturday we'll take you to the shop, get you fixed with whatever. But I don't have time today or tomorrow to take it to the shop,
Yeah.
So that's where I'm at right now. But all right, let's get right into it. We saw the Bucks blow out the Heat. I don't care that the final score, but it seemed like it was a 15-point game. Goddamn, that was a blowout. We saw the Grizzlies win. Would you say that was a Grizzlies win, or was that a Lakers loss? Did the Lakers lose that?
Question.
We'll talk about that, because I don't know. I still have faith in the Lakers. I don't. And then are the Nuggets sweeping the T-Wolves?
Probably.
Yeah, probably. And our Game 3 predictions, but unlike every episode today, we're going to start off with Pirtle, just because I have to. This will have to end exactly at 9, and I don't want to feel tied to Pirtle before ending it. Does that make sense?
Yeah. I unfortunately will not be here tomorrow.
What are you doing, sucking dick?
I'm going to Miami for the first time in my life.
But, what are you doing in Miami?
I got a tea time at 9:30.
So you're driving at fucking 5?
6, yeah, 6:30. Yeah. Yeah, Cyro with the horrible takes, man.
What did he say?
I thought the Miami Heat were gonna win yesterday, and if they did, they would win the series, right? Giannis didn't play, right?
Giannis did not play, surprisingly, and they still got blown out.
Oh, it's almost like they're the 1 seed.
Shut the fuck up.
It's almost like they have the most wins in the NBA this year. Oh. That is Shaden Sharp.
All right.
Yeah.
And
well, obviously it's Tyrese Maxey then, right? He's number 0. It's not Tyrese Maxey. Yeah.
What's Jalen Brunson's number?
Ooh.
Oh, he's 6'5". Never mind. All right, he's in the East. But he's not Atlantic. It's Southeast. Oh, is that like AJ? Not AJ Griffin. I'm trying to think of a 6'5" guard with hair. James Booknight?
Oh, that'd be pretty cool.
We got the right conference. So it's either Wizards, Magic, Heat, Hawks.
Or Hawks. Yeah, Pirtle already is. It's tripping me out.
All right, it's either a Hawk, a Wizard, or a Magic player. It's not Markel, is it?
No, it was just Markel, and he had thick hair. Wow, it is echoey in here.
It's not too bad at all.
Okay.
Just in case, go to your mic settings and there's echo cancellation.
Yeah, I always have that on.
Yeah, then you're fine. You sound fine.
It just feels weird to talk.
You'll probably have to record in your like dining room because it's a smaller room.
I am kind of like my dining room's right there.
This is not like a closed-in area.
No.
All right,
dude. This is. I'm not in it right now. Who the fuck do you think you are? What? He's a former Atlanta Hawk. Perfect.
Yeah, that's like fucking great. I think he has to be on the Wizards or
Who's
Magic.
Tyrese Martin?
How much did you hate that?
I agree. I think he's on the Magic. Because if he's on the Wizards, I will not claim an L for myself. With Mr. Wizard fan over here.
Every year. Okay. Oh.
What?
Oh, he has to be on the Hawks.
What about the Wizards?
Yeah.
Who has hair like that on the Wizards?
Jordan Goodwin?
No.
DeLon Wright?
He's not that old.
That's who it is.
It's not DeLon Wright.
Fuck you.
What in the hell?
You know how I knew it was DeLon Wright? Former Hawks player.
Oh, shit. Okay.
All right, let's talk about this Bucks game. Let's talk about physically imposing their will.
But they don't have Giannis.
It don't matter.
Let me tell you something funny, right? So typically, when teams make the play-in, right, and unless you made a big-time acquisition unless you make a big-time acquisition like the Los Angeles Lakers, typically if you hover around 500 for the NBA season and you slip into that 8th seed, typically you're not a good basketball team.
Jimmy Butler just needed a seed.
Butler needs a point guard, some three-point shooters, some better bench depth, like an all-around defensive guy, a guy like PJ Tucker who's going to just go everywhere on the court and also knock down threes. I think Jimmy Butler needs quite a couple of things. I think that Jimmy Butler, I'm not saying this because of the game, but I think Jimmy Butler, he's not going to be a Heat for the rest of his life. So I'm curious when that happens, actually.
You think? I think he stays with the Heat for the rest of his career.
I think so.
As it comes down to if Jimmy Butler is willing to let his salary decrease with his age.
That's fine. That's fine. He's still a really good basketball player. I don't think. I don't know. I don't think he's.
The only way I see him leaving is if they do a full rebuild, which I see is unlikely. Yeah. I really see them. Jimmy Butler probably. He's what, 34?
If he's 34, dude, that's kind of messed up. I'm gonna hope he's at least. I'm hoping he's max 33. I'm gonna guess he's 33. Guess
One
that's just
second.
1 year.
33, yeah. He turns 34 in September, though.
Okay. Yeah, I mean the Heat need to retool.
He has a 5-year window. He has a 5-year window of like good years left.
Shit, dude, that's an old window, man. That's a big window. I don't know if we got that.
You assume in those 5 years he would eventually become the second guy and then eventually the third guy in touches. You know what I mean? And he would just stay there as a leader.
Okay.
Does that make sense? Like, because he screams Heat culture. You saw how long they kept Udonis Haslem. You saw how long they kept D Wade. They keep Jimmy Butler till he retires to keep the culture.
Yeah, not everybody cough cough Minnesota can appreciate Jimmy Butler's dedication to the game. But they need some help, man.
Yeah, no, I think definitely if Jimmy Butler were going to stay there for the rest of his career, Bam Adebayo and somebody else would have to supplant him as the two best players on the team. And then Jimmy would have to be the third guy and like not be paid like max.
They need Dame, man. They need Dame. They
I mean,
need
that
a
could
guy
change,
like Dame.
That could change everything. But when you look at this situation, I think with the Bucks, because the thing is they beat this Bucks team without Giannis last game. And they come back, and I know the final score made it seem like it was a lot closer than it really was. It wasn't close. And I think first off, Duncan Robinson needs to just not play.
Yeah. I thought he was going to have a career night. But anyways.
I mean, he had 14 points.
Dude, Heat suck, man. They don't suck. They're not good, though. Maybe they don't suck. They're just
They hit 25 3-pointers the Bucks last night.
They're just not as good as Milwaukee. Like, Milwaukee's just a really good team. No Giannis, no problem, as Chris points out here. You got Mr. Drew. You got all these all-NBA defensive players. They're so incredibly deep. I think Russ.
They have probably 3 out of the 5 first-team defensive players of the year. Giannis, I know Giannis didn't play, but Drew Holiday probably was first-team all-defensive team. And so was freaking Brook Lopez. Brook probably got pushed to second because of Jaren. But Brook would have been, or, some people might have said should. And then you got Giannis. You got 3 guys who were at least all defensive team members on the Bucks.
Defense wins championships, baby. So, yeah, man, I still got Bucks in 5. I'm pretty shocked. Miami snagged one. It had to be Rust.
You want to hear Duncan Robinson was was one of 4 players to finish plus box minus score for the Heat.
Yeah, flawed statistic.
Yeah, the Heat actually were like plus 10 when Duncan Robinson was on the floor against the Bucks.
I'm not saying Duncan Robinson's a reason. I'm not saying he's like this horrible player, but like I don't think for the Heat, if you're trying to take down, the number
Duncan
1
Robinson
seed,
had a game last night though. 5 of 8 on the field. I'm not saying 4 he's the reason they lost.
I'm just saying he's a compilation of what's wrong with Miami as far as like. All right, you have
Kyle Lowry's broken.
You have these guys on just bad contracts. You have him. You have Kyle Lowry. They're just
I think they fucked up in their team's a year old.
They are too old. They got to get a little bit younger. As do a lot of these teams.
Kyle Lowry wouldn't be a bad player if he was on a mid-level exception. But you have him on a goddamn max. All right, like this offseason, you have to figure out how to package Duncan Robinson's and Kyle Lowry's contract. I don't give a fuck if it costs you every second-round pick and maybe 1 or 2 first-round picks. You look there, you call up people, and you're like, we're getting rid of Kyle Lowry, Duncan Robinson's contract. We'll do whatever. We'll either trade them separately or we'll trade them together. We'll take whatever you got. And again, that would be enough to set up a Portland deal where maybe you package Nikola Jovic and Duncan Robinson and Kyle Lowry and whatever picks you can.
I'd need like 6 picks.
I'd trade everything. I'd trade the farm. I trade the farm. I trade the farm at that point.
I don't know. Portland would need all for Duncan Robinson and Kyle Lowry.
I know. But the thought process, I look at this Bucks team and I think they're either going to do. I think I could see the Heat stealing one more game, especially if Giannis messes another game.
Yeah, it's fine.
But I see this being going to Game 6 at most. Bucks win it. You agree?
Yeah.
All right, let's switch over to the Memphis Grizzlies. What did you take away from that game? And were you shocked by the turn of events? What were the? I saw you. I remember you texted in the group chat that it was a Xavier Tillman party or something like that.
I think you said that, or Luke said that.
Someone said.
I think Luke said revenge game.
Like, pull it up right here.
I said that's gay as fuck. Not gonna lie. That was my response to it. I didn't watch the game live, so I had to watch it this morning. And no John, no problem. Fun fact:
Xavier Tillman legacy game, and Jackson responds, "Gay as fuck." Not gonna lie. And then you respond with the that he sent in the Heat 170. You're gonna go. Good night, though. that
At least got one win last night. But
yeah.
So I have a fun statistic written here on my page of notes. What are you want to take a stab at the Nugget or the Grizzlies record without Ja in 46 games in the last 2 years?
30-16.
Close. They are 33-13 without Mr. Ja Morant. Now, I
knew it. I actually knew. I'll actually admit. I actually knew it was something like absurdly like good.
It's an absurd statistic, and it pegs the question, or it at least begins to peg the question of. I say this every time we talk about Ja Morant and the Grizzlies' realistic championship aspirations.
They're better without Ja.
No, I'm not saying it. We're going to talk about it soon. What I am saying is, and take it from Derrick Rose fan, you cannot, and Russell Westbrook supporter, you cannot win with a super athletic point guard as being your best player. It's never happened in the history of the NBA. Your best player being a super athletic point guard.
Was Isaiah Thomas and Chauncey Billups not considered?
No. What? Chauncey Billups is nothing like Ja Morant. But I
know they're not the same, but I'm just saying they're athletic.
It's, as Nandit's saying here, they defend, they move the ball better. I don't know, and I'm not saying it's because of Ja Morant, but for some reason, everybody steps up, and it might be because they're like, it's like a psychoanalytical thing in the back of your brain where it's like, okay, when Ja's out on the court, we don't have to play as hard. When Ja's done, it's like, okay, we have a chip on our shoulder. We need to step up in the wake of his absence because we're missing our best player. But, Tyus Jones is such a good backup point guard as well. I know his stat line last night wasn't the flashiest of things, but this guy is.
Can we be honest, though? Can we be honest? The reason why they won this game
is because of always disappointing?
No.
AD? Free Close Davis?
They just scored more points, all right? And they forced more, not scored more points. They scored more.
That's how you win.
Yeah,
they didn't have more turnovers. They didn't have more threes. If they did,
all right, let me shut the fuck up. They actually had the Lakers turned the ball over two more times. Rebounding battle's the same. The Grizzlies had more assists, but the real stat right here is the rebounding battle is basically the same. The reason why, and they had the same amount of free throws, almost identical field goal percentage and field goal attempts. This game came down to three-pointers. That's what it came down. This game came down to three-pointers.
Tell me the three-point stats.
The Grizzlies hit 11 of 36, and the Lakers hit 7 of 26. And that was a 4 3-pointer difference. The game was a 10-point difference. That means if the Lakers had hit 4 more threes, they would have won this game.
Okay. In support of your argument there, LeBron James going 1 of 8 from downtown. He's always been a disappointment from 3.
Let me finish that. Look, I completely this is not a LeBron James problem. I mean, first off, did you see that weird quote by D'Angelo Russell last night?
No, I did not.
Should I cue it up real quick before I use this? Because it might be indicative to what you and I are about to talk about, and that is, do you want sound or do you not care for sound?
I don't know. Just give me the gist.
It's, dude, I like it when they let me go okay. He goes right here. I'll just show the screen. I'm a basketball player. You can't keep saying point guard. Basketball player with this team. Basketball player with this team. Not really a point guard role. And for me, when I look at this situation, I personally think the way Rui Hachimura hit the shots that he had to hit tonight, but the rest of the team, if the Lakers expect to win this series, the way the Grizzlies what the Grizzlies are going to do to them, they're going to test them. They're going to say, "Hey, we're going to leave Rui Hachimura. We're going to leave Troy Brown Jr. We're going to leave. All right, let me make sure who else: Malik Beasley, Dennis Schroeder, D'Lo, open at 3. All right." We're gonna, and same thing with Jared Vanderbilt. We're gonna leave them open at 3, and we're gonna dare them to shoot. You're gonna beat us, LeBron, by hitting those 3-point shots. You're not gonna beat us by having LeBron and AD and Austin Reeves attack the rim. Jaren Jackson Jr. and Xavier Tillman are gonna keep that paint closed and do the best.
I don't think they are.
No, I know. Not it's not gonna always. That's their game plan. Thank you. That's the game plan from the Grizzlies. Is we're gonna do our best to close the paint and not let LeBron and Davis and Reeves attack. And we're gonna literally dare Rui Hachimura, Troy Brown Jr., Dennis Schroeder, Russell, and whoever else is out there that isn't their best 3-point shooters, but we're just gonna leave them open at the 3-point line. And why did the Lakers win that first game? Because everyone was hitting those threes and they were able, and it led to everything else opening up. So if the Lakers can start the game out, I don't think they have to shoot well the whole game from 3, but if they can come out from the gates, smacking some threes where the Grizzlies can't just dare them to shoot, then that'll open up the paint to allow Davis and LeBron to attack the basket, because Dillon Brooks cannot stop LeBron. Dillon Brooks was not doing shit to LeBron.
Yeah. Dillon Brooks really pissed me off last night, as he always does. I totally understand your logic.
LeBron's coming out and dropping 40 tomorrow after this.
He's not going to, because he doesn't need to, and he knows that. If I was making a betting odd, I would go with Anthony Davis, because I get what you're saying. Like, the Lakers, you can't shoot 7 of 26 from downtown and expect to, like,
I'm not saying that they have to shoot well. I'm just saying come out the game shooting well. Start the game shooting well to have them fear the shot, respect the shot.
It's just, I know they're not the craziest 3-point shooting team. I anticipate we'll see more Malik Beasley as the series progresses. Rui Hachimura has done a great job. I don't need Mo Bamba, but I would take Mo Bamba. D'Angelo Russell's a shooter. I get it. He's a basketball player. He's a shooter. He's gonna struggle from downtown on certain nights, but I'm gonna need more than 1 3, and he knows that. We all know it. I need more than 5 points from D'Angelo Russell. It's simple as that. But the reason the Lakers lost this game is because of Anthony Davis. You can't go, okay,
that's good.
Triple J is really good. How tall is Xavier Tillman? Take a stab at it.
6'10".
6'7". Xavier Tillman
what?
is 6'7".
You're lying. You're lying.
Xavier Tillman is 6'7". He had a great game, and he's a great basketball player. He will not have a
dude, he's the tallest 6'7".
You are Anthony Davis. You are a top 10 2-way player when you are healthy, supposedly, or that's my take. You cannot have a 4-14 night. You cannot have 13 points. LeBron James isn't going to drop 40 in the next game because he's had such a successful career. He doesn't need to. I do like him barking back at Dillon Brooks because I think the game needs more of it. I think Dillon Brooks is a loser, but he can defend. Can't shoot, tell you that. But Anthony Davis needs more than 13 points. Anthony Davis knows this, and so Anthony Davis is going to have probably 25 points in the next game. So if I'm thinking who's going to step up in the next one, Anthony Davis or LeBron James, we're talking about 3-point shots. They lost by 10. So if you make 3 more threes, if you hit double-digit threes, which you should in 2023 on a nightly basis, yes, it's a 1-possession game. It's a 1-point game. But I know LeBron James is the best player on the court, but at this point, it's Anthony Davis's playoff series because you're missing Steven Adams, Brandon Clark, and you're also Anthony Davis trying to prove something.
Can I tell you something? 13 points. Xavier Tillman at the NBA Draft Combine was measured in at 6'9", 265 pounds.
And now they're throwing him at 6'7"?
Yeah, I just want to put that out there because...
All right, so he's 6'9".
6'9". probably, I guess maybe his 6'9" height that they put, because I just checked with the Athletic, and I just checked with a couple draft guides, like legit like sources. Because when you told me 6'7", I googled it and it said 6'7". I just was like, dude, I'm pretty sure he was 6'9", listed with like a 7-foot wingspan. And yeah, that's what I'm getting. He was listed. I guess maybe he's 6'9" with shoes on. I don't know. He was
but now he's
coming.
listed 6'7".
Yeah, no, you're right. You're right. On ESPN and everything, he's listed 6'7". But I'm telling you right now, college and coming out draft, all the draft guides and shit I have at my display, 6'9". So just continue. I just flabbergasted. That like took me.
I agree. He's probably taller than 6'7", but the point still stands. He's not 7'4". You're Anthony Davis, and 6'9", 6'7", 6'8", doesn't matter. 6'11", 6'12". You could be 6'12".
So can I come with you at this one? So I agree. Anthony Davis, you know what? I didn't even think about that. The 3-point shooting isn't like dire need. I think in a game like this where Davis is slumping, the 3-point shot would have won them the game if that had fallen. But the next games, I was thinking, do you go with a defensive-minded lineup next? If you're the Lakers, do you go and you say, hey, the best way to attack this team is let's not let them score, all right? And what I mean by that is let's go out there and let's play our best defenders. You know, our best defenders are probably going to be LeBron, Jared Vanderbilt, Anthony Davis, Austin Reeves, Troy Brown Jr., Shaq Harrison, Mo Bamba, Wayne Gabriel. And I know the scoring is going to be real bad, but what if you don't let the Grizzlies score themselves?
I'm telling you, Shaq Harrison will not play more than 5 minutes in the whole playoffs.
I know.
These are not real. I don't think I get your logic.
Like all defense, just pound them.
I get it. The thing is, our top 3 defense from the trade deadline. I don't think defense is their issue. I don't think with Anthony Davis. I think honestly with Anthony Davis out there, I think with Austin Reeves out there, you have plenty on both sides of the ball. I think it's just a simple matter of Anthony Davis needs to realize he's Anthony Davis at a more consistent level, and he'll probably do this in game 3. And here's the thing I think that's important to note with the shooting as well. And as Nandit points out, the Grizzlies don't even score that much. They're not a good 3-point shooting team either. These games were in Memphis. So if we zoom out, okay, the Lakers are the 7th seed, and Memphis is the 2 seed. And the Lakers won game 1. They won a playoff road game, and now you're headed back home. So now I have more of a feeling that D'Angelo Russell, Austin Reeves, Dennis Schroeder, Troy Brown Jr., Rui Hachimura, LeBron James, I think all of these players are going to shoot a lot better in these next 2 games at home. And if Anthony Davis just gives me 25 like he should, like his averages, they should easily win the next 2 games, and then we'll have the conversation. Memphis had not lost a back-to-back home game all season. I think it's being severely downplayed because I didn't even recognize this until the playoffs start, and we cover the NBA. We do this show every day. Memphis Grizzlies at home were 35-6. Why didn't nobody talk about that? We know they're a good home team, but 35-6 is insane. That is insane. That's an insane statistic.
But at least now we're going back to Los Angeles.
Exactly. And they're going to hit their shots. And their defense is still great. And
everything, if Los Angeles can win back-to-back games, take this 3-1, do you think they roll into the momentum of winning?
To take that game 5 in Memphis?
Yeah, or does it depend if Jaw's playing or not?
I don't think it. I think maybe I got a little too eager in our last Lakers talk because of the domination game 1, but I think we're still looking at Lakers in 6.
Sounds good. Let's move over to the game from last night, which, Timberwolves were able actually to take the lead late in the 4th. It was a very surprising game. I think there was a great quote from the commentator. I don't know who was calling the game yesterday, but I think it might have been Grant Hill and somebody else, but they said this. When the Timberwolves finally took the lead, and then I think it was the first time the Nuggets tied it, they go, the T-Wolves look a little gas. Looks like they spent too much energy trying to get back into this game. And I think that's what happened. They got back into the game, they took the lead, and they couldn't finish, driving the knife into the wound, because the problem was, first off, Jamal Murray was, I think Jamal Murray at one point was feeling himself and was just shooting. But the Timberwolves, they just ran out of gas. They got there. Rudy Gobert. Oh my God, there was one play. Okay, so Anthony Edwards. This was a three play sequence. Anthony Edwards crossover, just glides through from the free throw line layup. Next play, good defensive play. Karl Anthony Towns drives into the paint and he goes Euro step. And at the last second, he goes a double handed dump off pass to Rudy Gobert under the basket. Rudy Gobert dunks it. Next series, Rudy Gobert attacking the basket, doesn't have the ball, but somebody passes it to Rudy Gobert down low. He literally touches the ball for like half a second. Out of nowhere, you see Kyle Anderson cut backdoor, catches the ball, dunks it. And it was like a 6-point series of the most beautiful Timberwolves basketball with Rudy Gobert, Karl Anthony Towns, and Anthony Edwards. And then they just literally Jokic and Jamal Murray just could not mess. Like Jokic was getting guarded well. It was just Jamal Murray. Jamal Murray was literally just feeling himself. Like Nickeil Alexander-Walker couldn't do shit about it. I think it might be a sweep at this point. I don't think the T-Wolves can do it.
Yeah, last night made me think, they could probably steal one game. I think Taurean Prince starting over Nah makes all the sense in the world. In fact, I hate Kyle Anderson, and I think Kyle Anderson should be the starter. But if he's not, then Taurean Prince should be it. Bless you. Great game. Anthony Edwards, phenomenal game. Running out of gas for sure. The thing is, they're headed home. I think the Nuggets might be the team to realize, as much as the Gobert trade has been overplayed because of the asking price, which was never Gobert's fault because Gobert didn't trade himself to Minnesota and he didn't offer the asking price for him. That was Minnesota. Karl Anthony Towns, I don't think he is serious about basketball. And I know, we've been people have talked about this for years and years, but he's not he annoys me. His stupid smirk annoys me, but 10 points, man. 10 points, 2 assists, 3 of 12 from the field. Anthony Edwards is the future of the Minnesota Timberwolves. Cat's still the best player, or was supposedly the best player. This is still a 25-10 player, supposedly.
Well, you know me. My whole thing when I look at Karl Anthony Towns, and I don't know who we had on the show, but they agreed with me when I said this last. My whole thing with Karl Anthony Towns that gets me pissed is he was supposed to be on. Right now, the conversation should be Nikola Jokic, Joel Embiid, Karl Anthony Towns, and it's not.
Yeah,
it's not,
and it never will be.
It probably never will be. Yeah. But people don't realize that after Karl Anthony Towns' third season or second season, whatever it was, there was full-hearted belief that the way that we view Jokic and Embiid as these perennial MVP candidates, as like the top 2 centers in the league, as 2 of the top 5 or 10 best players in the league, Karl Anthony Towns was supposed to be firmly in that conversation from every standpoint. He was supposed to be a guy who was averaging like 25 and 15, 2 blocks a game, dishing out like 5 assists, being able to score from every point of the court. I think that's, as a Timberwolves fan myself, that's what I thought. Karl Anthony Towns, when we drafted him, he was supposed to become an MVP candidate.
Yeah, 100%.
Also, Rocket News. Shout out to Rudy Gobert got it was a little bit of an over the back helmet, and he flipped out, and they gave him, I think, a tech. And Rudy Gobert was held back and calmed down by Kyle Anderson.
And that's the whole thing we talked about all last week when Gobert didn't even punch him. He shoved him in the chest, and he probably should have punched Kyle Anderson in the face head on because he called him a bitch. And when a grown man calls you a bitch, there's consequences to actions, but neither here nor there. These are competitors. These are athletes. I don't think it's not like they're losing to Denver right now because of the Kyle Anderson and Rudy Gobert drama. No matter who's in the right or who's in the wrong, they're just competitors. No one on the Timberwolves right now is happy with the way their season goes, and I'm sure that certainly includes the both of them. They both want to win. They've both been in the league for a long time, and they want to win. That's why they're on the Minnesota Timberwolves, and that's not the way it's been going this season. I think it's just 2 hyper-competitive athletes who are the butting heads. Everyone's going to butt heads. People fight in practice all the time that you don't hear about. The issue to me more so was that it got leaked out, the halftime stuff. to the public, but it's whatever. They suck. They need Jaden McDaniels back desperately, and yeah, man, Denver's just good. Like they're just not gonna win it. It's as simple as that.
No, I agree. I agree completely. So let's move over and let's talk about tonight. And tonight,
which is stupid, man.
This is
what is
so.
This?
What is
am I
this?
looking at?
So first off, let's talk about this. Why is a playoff game on NBA TV? Seriously,
yeah,
not
probably hockey. Probably because of hockey.
Yeah, but you're telling me you're telling me you couldn't sell the rights to those games.
It's probably because there's ESPN is owning hockey tonight. Yeah,
but they have ABC. They can play. ESPN's owned by ABC, or ABC is owned by ESPN, so they could put that game on ABC.
Yeah, like The Voice is probably on or something. I get what you're saying. I'm just saying.
The other thing is the first game, put it at 6. All right. Second game, do 8:30. Yep. Last game, do 9:30 or 10.
Which sucks, dude.
I know it sucks. I know it sucks, but at least that way everyone can watch a game. Some of every game.
Yeah,
because
I mean,
right now you basically choose if you're watching a majority of the Golden State or a majority of the Sacramento Kings game. You choose if you're watching a majority of the Suns or the Clippers. That's the choice you're making right now.
Yeah, and I don't know if I'm going to be able to watch either of these games live. Hopefully, but like,
I'm not going to be able to watch any of these games except probably the Suns Clippers live on the way home from work.
From Eastern Standard Time, and this is my first year of the playoffs living on the East Coast, so maybe East Coasters have this problem. I know it's like unideal. Like I remember Sunday Night Football starting at 8:20, and it's just like being in high school. And it's like, well, it is kind of shitty.
I grew up on the East Coast, so I'm used to it. So when I moved to the West, it was amazing. Football starts at noon, bro.
Yeah. But has it ever been 10:30 like these games on for me tonight? 10 o'clock, 10:30. You're up to 1.
Oh yeah, that was always, bro.
Is it always
that? Yeah, because I used to. My parents growing up used to go to bed at 10 p.m., 10:30, and I used to stay up in like my video game, like my hangout spot in my house was the basement, and I used to smoke weed inside my house without my parents knowing because I figured out if my parents went to sleep at 10:30, which was the start of the last NBA game, I could smoke weed at like 10:30, 11, and I just had to stop smoking weed by midnight. And when my parents woke up at 6 a.m., the house wouldn't smell like weed anymore. Yeah. So I knew I was able to. Yeah. So I knew I was able to watch a game of like one full NBA game while playing video games and smoking weed before bed on the East Coast. That's how I always remembered it because I would be watching. I watched a lot of West Coast games in high school because they were always the last games played. Yeah. But let's go right here. I'm sorry, Brooklyn. I thought you wouldn't get – I thought it'd be a gentleman's sweep, but they're undersized. That's what I'm taking right here. I'm going with the first game, Philadelphia, Brooklyn. I can't even see the Sixers losing a game. You?
The only reason I think Brooklyn might be able to snag one either tonight or next time they play Saturday or Sunday, whenever that is if James Harden has sucked. As a Rocket fan, I don't want James Harden actually in the slightest. He has aged so fast. It's never been.
He's aged like a pear.
Don't pears age pretty well?
No, I mean, yes, but like the way a pear ages is like they're Gucci, and then one day to the next, they're like Asian people. They just fucking turn wrinkly. That was terrible. That's not racist at all. But like, it's just.
It's
okay,
like,
you've never heard like people compare, like, you look how like Asians and black people, like they age really well till they're like 70. Like you know, like how like you meet someone who's like 50 or 60 and they age really well, but then like when you meet someone like older, they just like 1 year to the next, they just wrinkle as fuck. That's the saying, is aging to a pear, because pears one day to the next will be wrinkly as fuck.
Oh shit. Well, I was thinking more like if you go and buy like some raspberries and you wash them and then leave them out, like the next day they'll be moldy. So maybe I think he's aging.
I don't eat raspberries like that.
Some washed raspberries. The only way though is if James Harden continues. Like he's not been a good playoff performer, but he's been like super bad.
Wasn't James Harden injured though?
But he's always injured. That's another thing with James Harden. Is at this point in his career, he's always injured. He's always battling something. Who isn't battling something at this point in the season? But nonetheless, if they were to figure out a way to neutralize Joel Embiid to like a more modest 23 points, maybe if he just has an off night and James.
You want to hear James Harden's stats?
Mikal Bridges drops 40. That's a way I can see Brooklyn snagging one. I actually wouldn't be surprised if they do snag one.
In 36 minutes in the last 2 games, James Harden shot 47% from the field, 44 from 3. Almost 6.5 rebounds, a block, 1.5 steals, and 26 points.
In the last playoff series, you said?
In these last 2 games.
James Harden's averaging 26 points?
That's wrong. That's wrong.
That can't be right. No,
that's what I'm saying. That's wrong. That's wrong. No, it's wrong. It's wrong. I just looked at it to confirm because I felt like that was wrong. And I just looked at it.
What site said that? He had 8
ESPN just told me that, but then I went and looked at the game logs.
He did catch fire in game 1 where he finished with a nice 23 and 13.
Oh, so guess what? ESPN lied to me and showed me the season stats, the season series stat.
Okay.
But
so Harden's been, and that's the thing is you'll watch these games and then the first 6 minutes he'll drive, get no call.
There's reports James Harden is battling through an Achilles injury.
He's always hurt. Who isn't battling through an injury right now? I don't care. Score more than 8 points. But
Rocket News says he's always been injured since Houston.
Yeah. I don't want him anymore. I love James Harden, but take a vet min. Sure.
Karam, you're right. It's weird that let's switch back to this. The 2 best games. Why don't you put it on him? Why didn't you have freaking
tomorrow, dude? Let's see what tomorrow's schedule is. Just put Suns Clippers on tomorrow. Tomorrow's matchup: Celtics Hawks, Cavs Knicks, Nuggets Timberwolves. Horrible 3 games.
We have to make a decision between watching the best 2 games this playoffs. These are the Sacramento Kings versus the Warriors and the Suns versus Clippers. 2 best games so far this playoff series. And you might throw in the Knicks Cavs in there too.
I'd rather throw in the Lakers Grizz. Knicks Cavs hasn't offered me much. I'm not quite sure why.
What do you think of Golden State Sacramento? Let's do that one.
Oh, I think Golden State wins it handily. But I guess as some background, I think from Golden State standpoint, I mean, Jordan Poole hasn't done anything. Now you've had a couple of games of Andrew Wiggins under his belt, and you're at home. You're also at home, so Poole will play better. All these role players will play better. I think Steph Curry has crumbled badly in clutch time, actually for most of his career, but that's not the point here. Last couple of games, I think this is a game where Clay could drop 30 or a high 20s. Steph drops 30s. I think it's really hard to win in Golden State as they made the playoffs with only having 10, 11 wins on the road. So I think Golden State wins it pretty easily. Maybe easily is the wrong word. I
just dry heat. I think the coffee because I'm on an empty stomach.
Just dry heat.
Yeah,
you almost puked at 8:50 in the morning.
I know. I just went over and where you dry heave and it's just saliva coming out.
Oh, not really. I mean, I get what you're saying, but that doesn't happen.
Okay, I think it's because
when I'm sick.
I think it's because I drank a super black coffee, and I didn't eat anything in the past 12 hours, so it just fucking hit my stomach wrong, and I'm over here fighting a war, bro, fighting a fucking war. But no Green. So I said this, even though Sabonis is playing, I think we're going to see more Alex Len and Trey Lyles than we did the first 2 games, especially if the Kings win this. I don't know. In my heart, I want to say the Kings. In my heart, I want to say the Kings will win this and the Warriors will go down 0-3.
Wow. That'd be a really good freaking.
I can't count the Warriors out because there's a chance that Steph Curry just touches God.
Golden State's winning.
You got Golden State winning this one?
No doubt they win this game. If the Kings win this game, they might win the NBA Finals. They actually
We also
might win the
agree.
NBA Finals.
Can we agree that they suspended Draymond Green solely because he just jumped up and yelled at the crowd?
That's so stupid, man. So stupid. We've seen it before, though. There's nothing you can do. I think we'll see like a John Morant situation where it just lights a fire under their ass, and Steph, Clay, Wiggins gets back to his form pool. Maybe
I have a question. This is me being fucked up, but what if it happens if like the next? I'm not saying Draymond wouldn't do this, but let's say some hothead at like the next like NBA player. I'm not saying this would happen. Maybe there's a dark, cynical part of me that wants this to happen, but what if it's the next game that Adam Silver's there, and a player gets ejected, and they point at Adam Silver, and then they walk up to the crowd and beat the shit out of Adam Silver? I know they would never play in the game. They would never play in the league again. But like, would Adam Silver then retire if like an NBA player beat him up mid game?
That wouldn't even be able to happen.
I know. This has been me. This is me with a fucked up mind. But what happens if like an NBA player assaulted Adam Silver mid NBA
lifetime
game?
ban, probably jail time.
Oh, lifetime ban. But you know Adam Silver would go take the Disney job. Like next day, he would announce, he'd be like, "Yeah, I'm gonna go with the family and kids. I'm kind of done with this." Like,
yeah, I want Adam Silver around kids.
Yeah.
I'm actually sure he's itching to get around kids. So yeah, maybe that's not crazy.
I bet you he's the type of guy that you like look down the alleyway and you see a 14-year-old blowing him. That was fucked.
I didn't want to picture that.
You know, the worst part is we both look at each other and we look down and I have a boner. What would you do? I'm just kidding.
Ugly ass fridge. Come on, man.
That's like my fridge currently. The old school fridge.
I mean, it's not like the sexiest apartment.
What do you mean? I like that place.
Pretty nice. Yeah, right.
I like your place. I fuck with it. It's nicer.
The bathroom's not like the Edison, but
I'm trying to. My goal is I want a place with tile. Like I'm trying to get a place with tile.
Great. Yeah,
but I want hardwood or tile. I don't want carpet.
I have carpet in my room. It's kind of ugly.
Oh, I fucking hate carpet.
No ice. Yeah, you're right about that.
Who drinks with ice though? Ice is not really.
Not in Florida. I'm gonna buy bottles of water and put them in the fridge.
Yeah. All right, let's do this last game. Phoenix versus Los Angeles. This one will be a doozy.
Yeah, it's gonna be a good game.
Who do you have?
I'm feeling frisky. I'm gonna take the Clippers in this game.
I think I'm gonna take Phoenix in this game.
Okay. I have no logic to back my statement.
I don't have a logic to either. Again, it goes back to the thing that I think DeAndre Ayton at the end of the day is going to be. I think the Zubats versus Ayton battle is probably one of the biggest battles for this series. And it's in the sense that I think who wins the offensive rebounding and just rebounding battle in general. And whoever hits the most threes, really. And both of these teams are just going to be jacking up shots.
I think that's kind of why I'm thinking the Clippers might snag it, is because it would just make so much sense for the Clippers to go up 2-1 and then like we get back to the conversation like we did in game 1 where it's like, like, wait, what if Paul George comes back game 6, game 7? Could the Clippers make a finals run? They could make a Western Conference finals run because Norman Powell tonight goes for 18. Eric Gordon turns back, the clock drops 22. Russ is good. Kawhi drops 37. And they're just like not missing shots. And maybe like Devin Booker struggles in the first half or something.
No,
I'm actually going to be rooting for the Clippers in this game.
I'm rooting for the Suns.
I don't have an affiliation towards so many of these playoff series, and it feels great, actually. I don't think I have an affiliation to any team in any of these games. It's been fun.
Let me see if I have an affiliation to any of these. So,
I don't want the Nuggets to like.
Yeah, I don't really have an affiliation to any of these teams either. I guess kind of the Nets, because like, I remember when Vladimir moved the team. You remember Vlad? Yeah.
From St. Petersburg, Russia.
Wait, does he still own the team? No, he formerly owned the team. You've never heard of this guy?
Josiah.
Mikhail Prokhorov. Okay,
Vocal.
where is it? Damn, he ran against fucking Putin for president. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, he ran against Putin.
It's a death wish.
Yeah, no, but let's go over here to he owned the Brooklyn Nets right here. Dude, shortly after purchasing the Nets, he vowed to get married if the Nets had not won the NBA championship within 5 years. He rescinded the pledge, saying that Adam Silver had taken his place by marrying his fiancee in May. All right, that's funny as fuck.
Wait, Adam Silver married his?
Yeah, I guess fiance. I guess
Adam Silver stole this dude's wife.
Girlfriend? I don't know. All right, so listen to this shit. In 2009, Mikel made an offer to buy controlling interest in the New Jersey Nets and half of a project to build a new arena. They approved the sale, making him 80% owner, and then he owns 45% of Barclays Center. And then he became the first non-American team owner. Then he announced his run for presidency, and the NBA confirmed that Prokhorov's interest would not need to be altered, and because like Herb Cole, who was the Milwaukee Bucks owner at the time, was also the United States senator, but he owned the Bucks while being U.S. senator. So they said there's no problem with politicians owning NBA teams. So then he moved the team to Brooklyn, and then back in 2007, he was moving. Prokhorov was moving closer to closing the sale of 49%, and Prokhorov agreed to sell 49%, and then 2 years later, he sold the remaining 51% to Josiah, and now he doesn't own the team, but he walked away with an overall sale of $3.5 billion, and he bought the team for, I believe, like a bill,
like $2.
Yeah, like he bought the team. Where is it? Let me pull it up right here.
Mikhail, so bad.
And then Mikhail bought the team for. They're not saying. He spent $200 million to buy the team. He spent $480 million to build the stadium and buy the team, and then sold it for 3.5.
Yeah, billion or million. So a very big difference.
Also, Adam Silver did not steal his wife.
Oh, billion.
What he's saying is,
okay.
Mikhail, when he bought the team, he said they would win a championship by 2014, and then when 2014 came around, they didn't win a championship, and Mikhail wasn't married. He said, "Yeah, Adam Silver just got married, so that was it." But he did it.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Damn, dude, my barber's so far away.
What do you mean, 3 hours away?
Great Clips? No, it's on the other side of Fort Myers. My Great Clips. Look at this.
Have you watched Cougar Town before?
No.
Watch Cougar Town. It's about it takes place in Sarasota. It's by the same, yeah, and it's by the same creator and writers of Ted Lasso and Scrubs.
Ted Lasso seems lame.
Have you seen Scrubs?
NGO, bro.
Did you watch Spin City?
No.
Do you want to see the child? My dog was wrapped up in her blanket this morning, like through a hole that she put in it, and I had to unwrap her. Right. There's Jasmine.
Aww. She's sick of your shit right now.
Look at how she's just hanging.
Look at those eyes.
Oh, she's a fucking cunt. All right. I'm gonna wrap this show up. Yeah, I'll get Luke on for tomorrow because you're a bitch.
Yeah.
What are you doing tomorrow?
Well, I'm driving to Miami and I'm playing golf at 9:30.
Just the drive 3 hours back later.
No, I'm staying the weekend.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You excited?
Yeah.
Have you been to Miami?
No, I've never been.
Once you fall in love.
Yeah, right.
You know, like you coming from like small town Fort Myers, and you're gonna be like walking into Miami. You're gonna be like, "What the fuck did I just stumble upon?"
I'm a Chicago boy. I don't think this city will be. I don't think it'll shock me much.
I think
I
it'll
will try
shock
and get
you.
up to Boca maybe if I got some free time. I'll
All
head on
right.
up to Boca and test the waters.
Sounds like a plan. Well, that's going to be it for us today, guys. If you guys did enjoy the show, be a friend, tell a friend. We're all also on streaming services like for podcasts, but this isn't a podcast. It's a live internet NBA show. We'll be back tomorrow. Well, Jackson will be back Monday. I'll be back tomorrow with Luke.
It's a paid day off. I have a paid day off tomorrow. Let's go.
Cheers, buddy.